That is true. You might not know that, but
Yes.
I do nap.
Now we're live.
Constantly tired. All right, ready, roll?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. As long as you're ready. I don't really care about Tucker. Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. You love to play, you play to win, you bet. Bet Parks, Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with you. What up, B?
What up? What up? How's it going?
How you doing, pal? Looking fly as always.
I try,
Jean jacket just works.
Well, I have a new morning routine.
Ooh, all right, lay it on us.
Yeah.
New morning routine.
So I joined.
I don't. I still wake up at 3 a.m.
Right. Well, your routine is waking up.
It's my whole routine is wake up.
So I joined a gym in the
Look
in the
at
city.
you.
No big deal to me. So
no more just in the basement treadmill.
No more of that. No more
Okay.
sweatsuit. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, let me
you
tell
have to have other people around it.
Yeah. So I go, I work out. I do 15 minutes in the sauna, 15 minutes in the steam room, take a shower, get a smoothie. It's really been a nice,
You do this in the morning to start your
Yeah.
day? That's so much effort. I've never, so I
Let
know
me
it's
tell
a
you,
big thing.
it's
And
so
I get it.
nice.
I've never understood the wake up and workout thing. Like, I get it after work, whatever, but like, I've just never, and it's a thing. Like, I understand that I just can never like get out of bed and be like, all right, let's go work out.
So here's what I would say though. Like, I agree when the alarm goes off an hour and a half earlier than it needs to. Like, yes, there is those 5 minutes where you're like, all right, let me just keep doing it. But once you're out of bed, I mean, as I'm sure you can attest to as someone that gets up early, like once you're out of bed, it's not that different. And there really is a niceness.
Yeah, you get up. And so
Yeah.
I'm saying that even once I'm out of bed, the idea of like, I don't want to go work out.
I feel like you're not a big workout guy.
True. So
I don't know if you worked out.
I'm probably
you're
not
just naturally in great
probably
shape.
not the target audience for this one. But just in general, like, my point being though, that I could like, all right, I finished work, go home, get a workout in.
See, I
get
can't
a shower.
do that because I feel like at that point
understand.
you're tired. Like the energy is no longer there.
Yeah.
But it is a nice, smooth, soothing way to start my day. Like sit in the steam room, close my eyes, take some deep breaths, appreciate the fresh air.
You're feeling very zen. Right?
Yes.
You're big on
well, look,
air
I mean,
these days.
the Eagles are
big on realizing that there's air outside and you can breathe it. Yeah, it's good.
I mean, the Eagles are, I don't know, top 5 team in the league. Like, what is there to be worried about? Just like relax,
rein it in, big dog.
Yeah,
rein it in.
I mean, I just thought off the top of my head, but like in all seriousness,
they're in the top 10 for sure, and I think they're probably
you probably say Chiefs, Lions.
I think you have to
Ravens.
put the Chiefs, Lions, Ravens above them for sure.
Yeah, I'll put those 3 ahead
without a doubt. And then I think they're in the discussion.
Yeah, I think they're right around there.
There are a few I put ahead of them, but they're there. I mean, I put the Bills ahead of them probably still.
Yeah, I'd have to check what the Bills record is.
They're 7-2.
All right, well then, yeah, they probably
off the top of my head.
They'll probably go up there.
I think they're 7-2.
But it is crazy how much it's changed. I feel like there was like 2 or 3 weeks there where you would wake up and like just 7-2. Okay, yeah,
I'm so good at this.
Just like the world was crashing down on the Eagles. Like when I woke up, I was like, all right, well, I have to like get to this or like da da da. Now I feel like they're in a pretty good place.
I agree. Now,
yeah,
we'll get to it, but potential trap game coming up going to Dallas. A little nerve-wracking with that one.
Yeah,
you got Washington on the back of it, a Thursday nighter, the division leader, the there, and then you're not facing Dak. Like this feels, we'll get to it, but like a classic letdown game. But we'll see.
I agree with that. Well, I have some thoughts.
All right. But I want to start with the trade deadline because it was. Eagles fans might not know that it happened this week because nothing happened.
Yes,
nothing happened. I have no
and very anticlimactic.
I have
like there was no even player that everyone's like, do it, and then they did
because they got traded to the freaking team you're facing with for the conference.
Yeah.
The Lions went out and got the guy you said, Zadarius Smith, on this pod on the station. You were like, perfect guy for them to go at. And guess what? He wasn't even expensive.
Yeah,
he cost a 5th and a 6th, and the Lions got a 7th back.
Yep.
All the pass rusher Preston Smith gets moved. There are guys that get moved 5th and 6th round picks. That was the market. I don't know how you feel about this at all. We have not talked about this at all, actually. Like, I'll tell you, I feel like I'm annoyed. Like, I'm not going to, like, crush Howie because I realize that evidence has shown that it's probably not going to make a massive difference either way, that likely whatever player we get probably won't be as good as we hope he is and all that. That's what history has shown us.
Yeah.
But, like, why not? Why not give up a 5th or a 6th round pick to go get a guy who can make the one true blue clear weakness on this team? Again, a team that you just said top 5 in the NFL, a team that wherever we rank them is clearly Super Bowl or bust this year. They are a Super Bowl contender, and in that building, that's the goal.
Yep.
How do you not go at somebody?
So I think if he would have been traded to like the Seahawks or some team in the AFC, I probably wouldn't agree with you as much as I do. I think what makes it sting is he went to the Lions.
He went to the Lions.
Like, he went to the exact team that I view, like, this is just my opinion. It's like Eagles, Lions, everybody else.
Well,
to me.
Lions, Eagles, everybody else.
Yeah, sorry. Lions. I just mean those two teams.
I get it, but the Lions have to be
Yes,
mentioned
agreed.
first.
The Lions are ahead. But I think that those are the two teams to me that are the best in the NFC. And then Washington, we'll see. Like, I think they need to earn it a little more. Like, they haven't won a playoff
the book
game.
is closed on the Niners yet. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they put it together and at least fight in the playoffs. Like, it wouldn't be that shocking if they I think the Packers are still legit. I think you have to consider them as a still legitimate team. Yep. But yeah, I think the Eagles are in that group at the top 5 without a doubt.
Yeah, and so the fact that he went to the Lions, I think, is just what stings the most about it. Like, I can just picture Eagles, Lions, NFC Championship game.
He has a massive play.
Big play, right? And you can't get to Jared Goff. And, like, that's worth a 5th and a 6th round pick.
Without a doubt. It's probably worth more than that. If we're talking about that specific scenario, NFC Championship game, it's worth more than a 5th.
Yeah, it's probably worth like a 4th.
If he's 3rd, who knows?
Well, honestly, if it's the difference between going to the Super Bowl
it's probably worth a 3rd. It's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, but
give that up. But the point is, like, if we're talking about this hypothetical scenario where he's making a play in the NFC Championship game for one of these two teams, whatever it takes for it to be your team.
Now, the fact that it was so cheap makes me think there was something else going on there. Like, maybe he only wanted to go to, like, who knows, right? Like, maybe Howie's hearing, no, like, Za'Darius wants to go to Detroit. He does not want to come to Philadelphia.
And that's possible.
Or maybe they don't think he's that good. Now, I would disagree with that assessment just based off the stats. Like, I don't watch him play every week, right? So maybe Vic Fangio is saying to Howie,
I don't need him.
I don't need him. I don't want him. And I don't know what you do then.
But it's like,
but it's about preventing him from going to the Lions.
Exactly.
Too.
And then on top of that, it's also about, like, look, Za'Darius Smith might not be that great in Vic Fangio's eyes, but isn't he better than a guy you're not playing in Bryce Huff? Like, I mean, isn't he better than your whatever? For the point is, he's going to be on the field for you. Like, he would get snaps if you
Now, so I agree with that. I do think, like, Bryce Huff has not played well. I'm not disputing that. Obviously, he's not played well, but I don't think they're going to take Bryce off the field. I know last week he only played 6 snaps.
The injury and all.
Well, but I believe it. Like, now maybe is there 20% that's not true? Maybe, but I do think, like, and Vic has been pretty honest. Like, look, Vic even said that day earlier, we're not really working on anything. And then it came out like, they weren't really working on anything. So I do believe, like, I just think if they would acquire Za'Darius, like, you're not taking Nolan Smith off the field, even though at this point Za'Darius is better than Nolan Smith. You're not taking.
Well, I think you would I think you would take whoever off the field.
I don't think they wanted to. Is why they didn't do it.
Yeah, but you put the best player on the field if you had him.
Yeah. So I just view it as. Also, I think Ross Tucker made this point on your guys' show. I believe it was on your show. Like, the Lions had to make a trade. Like, they don't have really any good pass rushers or great pass rushers other than Aiden Hutchinson, who obviously is out for the season. So them getting, and that's the other
pass rushers the Eagles have.
Well, no, they don't either. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, the Eagles, like, the pass rush has been better over the last month. It just has been. And it's still not a unit I believe in. I'm with you. I would have traded for Za'Darius Smith. I would have done it. But the pass rush has been better over the last month. Like, Nolan Smith has improved. Josh Sweat, I think, has 4 sacks.
Josh Sweat's been pretty good
5 games.
Month, yeah.
He has more hits, hurries, and sacks than Za'Darius Smith does this season. Just to put that in perspective. Like, I think I would have traded for Za'Darius Smith, but I think that the line is improving. It's still not a unit I believe in. Like, I believe in the offense. I believe in the back 4. I believe in the linebackers. I don't believe in the front 4 yet on defense. I don't. So,
I think all of us feel that.
Yeah.
Way. I think that's the key reason when it looks at, like, it's not like you needed 5 pieces. You know, it's like you needed this one thing.
You needed the one player that other teams have to worry about. Now, maybe Za'Darius Smith is not that. Like, again, Josh Sweat has more, but I still would have done it. So, in that respect, I'm surprised he didn't make the trade. And I think the other thing, and clearly they weren't going to trade for this guy, but Marshawn Lattimore going to Washington. I don't put Washington in that category yet. And look, if they beat the Eagles, obviously I will. But the two teams that are, like, probably the top 2
made the two
biggest moves. And so in that regard, I am surprised how he didn't do anything.
And I don't, for what it's worth, I don't think Washington's in that top tier yet, but I think they're clearly the biggest.
And they're in division.
The biggest challenge for the division.
Yeah, which is a huge deal, right? Then,
and by the way, Washington has an incredibly easy schedule. We talk about the Eagles' schedule is easy. Washington's is easier.
Yeah, like, this game next Thursday is a week from today, which is
massive.
Yeah, it's a massive game. But
week from today, that is crazy. Yeah.
The other thing I'll say, though,
you got a Cowboys and a Washington game in the next week.
I know.
Let's go.
It is crazy how often the Cowboys game doesn't mean much. Like it's an important. Obviously, it's early.
Usually it's the one at the end of the season.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Or like Cooper Rush.
It's rare that
Cooper Rush played in 2022.
It's rare that the first one doesn't mean something though. But even then,
but it feels
Cooper
like
Rush
Dak doesn't
played,
play.
But it didn't feel like the season was over for Dallas. Then.
No, agreed. But
this one, it feels like the season's like heading over already.
Very rarely, for the fact that they play twice a year, very rarely do we get big Eagles Cowboys games where like everybody plays. Like I'm not saying it never happens, but in my time covering the Eagles, like there is
you
not
mean just without injuries and stuff.
Yeah, without
like there have been games that mattered.
Exactly.
That
it was Carson versus Ben DiNucci or whatever early in the year, or like they're sitting starters, or Gardner Minshew's playing on Christmas. It does feel like it always goes like that. But to the last thing on the trade deadline, like I think we've covered and known Howie long enough that if there was a move to be made, I think he would have done it. Like Howie loves to make trades. He makes trades at the trade deadline all the time. I don't think the lack of success in acquiring guys.
That's what I was going to ask.
I don't think that plays a factor.
What about the John Dotson thing, though? I'll bet you that.
Well,
played
I think
a
that played.
Factor.
Yeah, well, because they already traded a third. Yeah, that definitely played a factor. But I don't think he didn't pull the trigger on a deal at the deadline because they've struggled in the past. I don't like. He drafted receivers 2 years in a row in the first round. He's drafted defensive linemen like every year, right? So I don't think he's afraid to go back to the well if he's made a mistake prior. I would guess that he didn't feel there was any value to be had, but I would just disagree with.
It's hard to argue that some of these
that's what I'm saying.
What they went for. Like if I had said to you, what do you think Zadarius Smith gets traded for before the deadline? You certainly wouldn't have said
right. I would have thought a fourth. I would have thought maybe just
third,
a fifth.
possible. Yeah.
But like, I also just look at the Eagles situation. And they have a young roster with good draft picks to trade, and they have a lot of cap space. So, like, I just can't imagine a world where there was a chance to acquire a player that was going to help them. And Howie said no.
So you believe that Zadarius Smith that he didn't want to come here?
Because I don't know if that's it.
Well, but in this, like, so either that or they do
not. They didn't want to beat the offer, right? So, in which I'm surprised by,
right?
So they must not have a high evaluation of him. Now, look, like,
or he said, I'm not going.
Maybe it could be that, but like, that is.
I think that's unlikely.
This is something that will come playoff time. We will discuss. Like when they traded Hassan Reddick for the pick they did, and they signed Bryce Huff. We both said we didn't really like it, but we were also like, look, if Bryce Huff becomes Hassan Reddick, then it was a good trade. So I think with this trade deadline, we have to wait and see how it plays out. If in the playoffs the pass rush is getting pressure, and these young then you clearly look and you go, okay, well, Howie was correct not to get Zadarius Smith. But if the Eagles do play the Lions in the playoffs and Zadarius Smith is lighting him, like it gets a big sack and Jared Goff is all time in the world, then yeah, we're going to have to look back and say how he sat at the deadline. Like it's honestly a lot like the Phillies, where the Phillies at the time had one of the best records in baseball. They were viewed as a favorite. And then come playoff time, like they needed something. And that something wasn't there from Dombrowski. So right now, I don't think the Eagles absolutely need anything. I think they could use another pass rusher for sure, like an experienced, proven pass rusher. Right now, they don't need anything. But come playoff time, like this was Howie's last chance to like improve the roster in any type of significant way. And he passed on it. So we'll see if it ends up being the right decision.
Do you think that there's any part of Howie, and we know Howie is always, all in, and we have, I talked to him on the morning show and he had that great quote about, every year we're going for it and stuff. But do you think there's a part of him that while they're going for it, looks at the team, the youth of the team, and basically says, listen, like it could happen this year, it could not.
I do not.
But I think that these draft picks are more important to build something that's going to be, because we got a young team, we could build this for years. You don't think that it entered his mind at all?
So I don't, because we're not talking about high level picks here. Like if Myles Garrett was traded for one first round pick and he didn't do that, then maybe I would say, you know what, like that's a little interesting. But I just, from knowing Howie, I can't imagine he's sitting up in his office at the NovaCare and saying, nah, let's not go all in this year. They have a loaded roster, a loaded offense. They're paying like this will probably be, and knock on wood, hopefully it isn't, the best year of Saquon they ever get. When you consider the amount of touches he's going to get, right? So they are, in my opinion, absolutely all in. Now, to your point about the youth, what's nice about it is if Jalen keeps playing this way, they are going to be just as good next year because they're young all over the field. And in theory, they could be better. Like Quinyon and Cooper could improve. Nolan Smith could improve. Like Jordan, all these guys. So, but I think 0% of this is, I don't want to trade this because we're not all in this year. I think if there was a player how he felt would significantly improve their odds this year, I think he would have absolutely paid the price.
I get it. It just feels like there were players who were traded.
Right, but I agree with you. I would have done it. If I was in Howie's seat and the Browns called me and said a 5th and the 6th round pick, I would have done it.
I get your point, but that's why I'm saying that there could be another explanation for it outside of I mean, what's the only other explanation is how he doesn't think Zadarius Smith is that good.
Yeah, that would be it. Or Zadarius didn't want to come here. That could be
I think it's
too.
far more likely.
I agree.
I think it's very doubtful that Zadarius Smith said, "Don't trade me."
100%, 100%. But I think there is 0% that Howie said to himself, "Nah, we shouldn't go all in this year." Like they have one of the best records in the conference. They have a team that's loaded and ready to do it now. Like I just don't think that is it. Now we could, well, it sounds like we agree on it, but like people could say he should have paid the price, and that I do agree. Like I would have made the trade, but I don't think it was because he doesn't believe in the team. I just don't.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just not sure what there isn't to believe in. Like the quarterback is playing well.
I get it, but again, I just don't know how he could have looked at what they have as pass rushers and not thought that what was available was an upgrade for the price that it was. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
No,
I have to look for other explanations.
I agree, but we also both agreed that like Hassan Reddick trading him was probably foolish, right? So like,
but that one you could understand. It's in the off season where like this is his last chance. Like this is it. If he doesn't,
which is why it's surprising he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We're
kind of circling.
Well, I know we're circling around, but to your point, like I just don't think either of us believe Howie is ever like a hold off guy. Howie is a big time like go for it guy. Like they've always gone for it.
I generally agree, but it is also Howie's job to balance the now and the future. Like that is a part. And we've seen him do that. We've seen him, even though he says he's all in. We know that there have been years where they're not fully all in, that they don't expect to win the Super Bowl. And I agree. I think this is a year where they're pretty much all in. But even then, like after last year, we didn't think they'd be competing for a Super Bowl this year. Like
well, I think we both possible. We were holding off our guards in case this thing was collapsing.
That organizationally speaking, like not like there's a difference between all in, like and. Yeah, like we're all in.
Yeah, but a fifth,
and it feels like they're like, yeah, we're all in.
Nah, but like a 5th and a 6th round pick to me
is nothing.
Exactly.
Why would you trade it? That's the point. If you're all in, you give that. You say, you know what? Forget the 5th and the 6th. We'll give you a 4th. For
no, but I think
but it's because he has to balance those picks in the future. Like that's the point.
But I think the flip side of that is we're not talking about trading assets that impact the future. So I think the most likely explanation is they didn't feel
a 4th round pick would impact the future. That's a 4th.
Well, I'm talking about a 5th and a 6th.
Right, but you have to beat that.
Yeah. Okay.
So my point is
right, if it's a 4th round pick, that is a higher asset. I agree with that.
So my point being, like, why wouldn't you just give up a 4th?
They must have not thought he was that good. That's the only thing I can think of. And now we could disagree with that. Now, for what it's worth, we only look at the stats. Like I'm not watching him every week. So
and it's also that good compared to what you have. Now, maybe they rate their players higher than we do. Maybe they
I mean, they're counting on Nolan Smith. I don't think that is it. I think they feel good about where Nolan's at. I think they feel good about where Josh Sweat is at. Brandon Graham is going to play. And Bryce, like they have to figure out a way to use him. Like I think there is a balance going on here where, look, Bryce has not played well. I'm not defending Bryce's play. But we also have to agree, like Bryce is being used, and I feel like I'm talking about Bryce Harper here.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce is being used differently than he was in New York. And they signed him with the evaluation.
So maybe that was a bad signing.
Yes. Yeah. But the point I'm making is like, they are asking him to do something he's never really done, and he clearly is not great at it. So they need to figure out a way to get him back to what he was doing.
Maybe you should have signed and thought. Maybe you should have known he could do what you want him to do before.
Look, it was a risk for sure. Like Zach, but like the flip side of that is they didn't know Zach Bond could do what he's doing, and that has worked out like tremendous.
True.
So I think now it's a much more expensive gamble on Bryce.
Yes,
clearly. And Bryce, I do believe can rush the passer. I think what's happening with him is like it's just all messed up. Like mentally, the way they're using him is like throwing him off. So when he does get to rush with 2 hands, it's like he's thrown off. I don't think he's happy here. Like I just think the whole thing is not great. He needs a few games in a row. Like we talked about this with Jalen and high level players, but like I think Bryce Huff needs a few games in a row of like put your hands in the ground, rush the passer on 3rd down, and get back to what you do really well. I think it's just become a complicated, messy situation. So I don't think they're like, this isn't going to work with Bryce. I just think they got to reconfigure how they're using him.
I want to throw a couple quick hitters at you, then we'll look ahead because it is like again in 1 week we will have Dallas and Washington. Like our perspective on the Eagles, our perception
really change.
Really change in 1 week.
One
week. But first, you mentioned Zach Bond. Is there any chance they sign him in season? I remember 2022, the whole like, oh, I don't want to mess with a good thing. But usually, Howie, when they have guys exactly like Zach Bond, like that dude is usually signed like right now.
I think they would. I mean, obviously, this all comes down to price. Like, does Zach Bond
and his willingness?
Yeah. Well, if I was Zach Bond, and this is just me, if I was advising him and they were offering him like I don't know, let's say $15 million guaranteed, I would do it. Like you were just a free agent that didn't get a ton of money. You have not had like a career where you're And I think there's something with Zach Bond too, where he is playing well here. Like maybe this offseason, and I don't think this is how it's going to go, but let's say he plays awesome the rest of the season. He hits the free agency market and they're like, nah, like you can just go. I don't know if he'll play as well other places. Now he's a talented player, so maybe he will, but clearly it works here. The other dynamic of this is how do they feel about Jeremiah Trotter Jr.? Like he had a really good training camp. Now he's a different body type.
Another thing too. I mean, Nakobe is going to get
Nakobe's also a free agent, right?
Yeah, is he a free agent after this year or is it next year? It's this year.
So this
is his third year, right? So it's one more year.
He's eligible for a deal,
right?
Though,
he has one.
Year.
He has signed with the Eagles for one more
next year, too. Right?
But still, that's
right. So and then if you pay both of them, I mean, look, Trotter is not certainly at a point where you can be like you're holding him back. You have him for 4 years. It would only be the second year of his deal, and injuries happen. So there's no downside to having Trotter as
and he was a 5th round
and
pick.
he was a 5th. So there is no downside to having Trotter as a cheap backup. But if they feel Trotter behind the scenes can do what Nakobe did, I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic because also like this is one of the interesting dynamics having all the Georgia guys is like, do you let Nakobe walk? Well, I guess he wouldn't walk, but I don't know. Like, do you trade him? I think there is some component of like Nakobe is the middle piece of all these Georgia guys. Like he's always been their leader. He was their leader in Georgia. I obviously don't hang with these guys off the field, but it just feels like Nakobe is the one that
they all look to.
Yeah. So there's that dynamic.
That's a fascinating thing to think about. You usually don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but they're like, it's like letting one of their best friends go.
No, I get it's a great point by you. Like it's fascinating. I just hadn't really considered it as part of the equation.
Well, the good news is at least it's a discussion.
Shout out Nakobe.
Because I mean, a year ago, who would have thought? Now I will say I think Zach Bond is playing considerably better. No shots at Nakobe, but like
Zach Bond's playing.
Zach Bond,
I mean, there's phenomenal.
Emmanuel Acho tweeted he's like a top 5 linebacker.
I was going to say he could be like it's certainly a pro player, like an all pro type guy. He's played that well.
But that's the other, I think, too, part of the trade deadline before we wrap that up is they really are set up like pretty well. Like we can say they need an edge rusher, but they don't have a long-term need. The only long-term need they would have, again, is edge rusher, but Zadarius Smith doesn't fit that long-term need. He'd be more of like a come in right now and help them this year guy, and they could have done it. But like it's been a while since this team has been so well set up at every position. And obviously it depends on how they play, clearly, right?
Minus pass rusher.
Yeah, well, but if Nolan Smith improves and Joshua keeps like those are not two terrible pass.
No, but that's a spot where you need elite guys, and they don't have an elite guy.
I agree with that. But like the Jaguars, I would argue have 2 elite guys.
Yeah, Josh Smith is awesome.
But the Eagles have more.
He's not Josh Allen. I mean, he's not Josh Allen.
Josh Hines. Let's not forget the hyphen part of this, right? It's big for the hyphen community that he's a.
I mean, he had to. He didn't have a choice. It's funny too because he is a great player, but it's like no one. It's like Josh Allen. No, I know Josh Allen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is a tough one. Yeah. Well, actually,
the same year too, maybe or something. It was early.
Man, I had actually I already told you this in the car. Never mind.
Okay.
So never mind. But but what I was trying to say. God, no, now I can't remember. That the Jaguars have 2 elite guys, but the Eagles have more sacks. So like. I think that the Eagles are a little higher up in the pass rush stats than people want to think. Now, part of that is they've had a ton over the past 3 weeks, so it hasn't been evenly distributed. It's going to come down to the playoffs and how they play, and that's when we'll be able to evaluate.
Yeah, no, I agree, but nervous.
Look, it would have been fun for them to do something, which is why I think if there was something to be done, Howie would have done it.
All right, last thing before we get to Dallas and Washington, I feel like we kind of just undersold your Jalen thing. You had made this big deal about the Jalen stat and all that. And then we kind of like just mentioned it, but we didn't really sell it. Do you want like a moment?
Well, I'm curious what this is.
We talked about the big Jalen stat. How
remember you teased?
You teased it on the last pod.
Oh, he's not there yet.
Oh, I thought he was there.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's not there yet. He's not far. Like pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Could happen
Where are you at on Jalen before we get to Cowboys?
So
like are we talking MVP?
So I don't think he's gonna win MVP.
I bet on him.
I know. Well, it's an interesting bet.
It's a good bet. It's a good upside play. It's plus 2,000. Like, just makes sense.
So
there's a reason he's plus 2,000 and Josh Allen's like plus 600.
Right.
Plus 300, whatever it is.
Here would be my current Jalen opinion. I think that there is some backlash to like, well, they're like running the ball first and he's more of a game manager. And here's the deal. They've already paid him and he's here. Like, he is playing the winning football they need him to play.
Totally.
Like we could sit here and be like, you need more for. But like, not really. His cap hit's like $12 million. I think his cap hit in the NFL, if you include all positions, is like 80th.
I just don't.
So in 3 years, when his cap hit, which it'll probably never be because they'll just restructure it.
Assuming, But that's why it's important that he's good.
If his cap hit was legit $50 million, then I think they'd be fine to have a discussion. You need more from him. But Jalen, by all accounts, is being a good teammate. He's being a good leader. He's taking care of the ball, and they're winning. So for me, it doesn't matter that he makes a lot of money, and like he really should be a 40 time. Like, as long as they're winning, it doesn't matter. Now, if Saquon goes down and they need to lean on him and he's playing poorly, yes, then we can have that discussion. But right now, I feel the best I've ever felt about Jalen. Like, pre-snaps, he is crushing it. Like, he is doing a great job with the blitz pickup. We never bring it up anymore, except for when we always say we never bring it up and then we bring it up. But like, it's not a small thing that pre-snap, he's become really, really good. And that is a massive part of his development. So yes, in 2022, clearly, like,
he was better.
The high was higher, right? Like, we could sit here and go, look, he got voted the second best player in the league. He won't do that. But I think from a quarterback perspective, they're getting everything they need from him right now.
I agree. All right, we'll get to the weekend. But first, Mike Quick, Seth Joyner, Jody Mack, Mark Zumoff, Rob Ellis, Joe Conklin, and us, Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer. We are the BetParks line of BetParks, the official sportsbook and online casino of the Go Birds Pod. It's the only sportsbook and online casino that we talk about, that we recommend, that we use. You can bet on more than the score. You can bet on every game. We're going to go through all our picks coming up on the BetParks Picks Pod. That'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you're watching the YouTube,
yeah, tomorrow.
I'll just say that. But you can bet more than the score. You can bet player touchdowns, rushing yards, passing yards, sacks, and so much more. Plus, real quick, before I get on to the casino part of this, any soccer action? I feel like we've not gotten a good soccer bet from you in a long time.
No, sadly not. I mean, like,
probably should have checked with you.
Yeah, I mean, the Leeds are doing okay. They're in third. The Union season is over, so that's kind of all I have.
I didn't even catch the end of it.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs.
Oh,
it was a disappointing.
What a fall! Is Jim Curtin still the coach?
And he probably still will be.
You think he won't get fired?
No, they need to blow it up. I would be fine if they. I don't think he deserves to be fired, but I think they need like a full swoop.
So give us a preseason bet for the Union next year. Are you in on the Union next year?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so bet against,
because they're not going to buy any good players.
Take the under.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. In addition to betting on all the sports all weekend, all the action, basketball, of course, back hockey, you bet on all. You can also play a casino right in your hand. How about that? Blackjack, craps, roulette, hot online slot games like, well, Baccarat too. Yeah. Like Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders online slots based on movies like Ted. It says Ted the movie. Good to know.
Like the bear?
It's called Ted. Yeah.
Are you sure it's called the movie?
No, it says
I think
Ted
it is called Ted the movie, though.
Are you sure? I think it's just called Ted.
I think it's just Ted.
I mean, that's what I think they. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying
Tucker's
going to
look it up.
I think it's just Ted.
It is just Ted.
Thank you.
Is there a second one called the movie?
I don't know. Maybe the slot game's called Ted the movie.
Yeah, well, that's probably it.
Probably it. Rocky, heard of that?
I have.
Barely.
Been disgusted.
Enjoy all the action, excitement, casino right at your fingertips with the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Plus, listen to this deal. Get up to $1,000 if you're a new user. Listen to this. Get up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Just new users download the app and bang, you get that deal. Casino bonus must be wagered. See betparks.com for the details. You must be 21 in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, or Ohio. Gambling problem? Go on, Andrew Gambler.
So it's just apparently never going to get cold, I guess. Like,
no, it's not.
It's right. It's just this is the new norm.
Yeah,
like it's always going to be in the 70s.
It's been tough for you. You're really struggling,
dude. I'm ready for the cold. Like I am ready to feel cold when I step outside.
I generally agree. I love the change of seasons, but as I've said many times, leaving your house at 3:30 in the morning, it really sucks when it's super cold.
But if you had a great jacket, it wouldn't be a big deal. But regardless, where I'm going with this,
shots at my jacket, taking shrapnel, no big deal here.
Well, I'm saying if you had like one, you don't love to wear clothes. Like if you had it.
You're right. If I could be naked all the
time. No. Like you don't like.
I don't get enjoyment.
Right. Like I enjoy putting on a nice coat.
Do.
Right. And I've not been able to do it.
Shoes,
I did. They are pretty sweet. Eagles
right?
green.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Go Birds green, I should
Shout
say.
out to Emily.
But the other thing, I will say that if there's one downside to like me not being able to wear my nice stuff outside that cold stuff, I can still wear cold stuff in my house. And you want to know why that is, James? Do you want to guess why I can wear cold stuff in my house?
I don't have the faintest idea.
Because I got great windows.
Oh, you caught me off guard with that.
I'm still having the cool air on. Kristen briefly put it on heat. That did not go well. We
shut that down real quick.
Dude, I was like sweating in bed. It was insane. So anyway, the reason I am able to wear cool stuff in the house is because the cold air that I buy, the cold air that I spend my hard-earned money on stays in the house. You don't think about that. I never thought about it until we started working with Window Nation. Because when you have good windows, your AC bill becomes cheaper because it's not leaking out of the house. You're not throwing money away. If it ever gets cold outside, the heat that you buy will stay in the house because you have good windows. And the good thing about Window Nation is whenever you need new windows, they always have a good deal. We've been doing this for what, a year and a half with them?
Mm-hmm.
Feels like every single month it's a new deal. So
again, we always say, and it's true, it's like I can't believe we've been doing this for this long because I can't believe they stay in business with the deals they give out.
And literally, we get so many good reviews from listeners, which is always nice to hear. So Windows Nations, the other nice part about it is they come with a lifetime warranty and they can be installed in 1 day or less. Window Nation was also recently ranked.
Make a big enough deal about that, by the way.
1 day or less.
How annoying is it when people have to come over? Oh, be back tomorrow. Be back the next day. It's
especially with Windows.
Get it done.
Especially with Windows.
Yeah, you got a hole in your house.
Like if it was like, a dishwasher, that would suck. But like,
it's like, all right,
you
could
whatever.
Survive,
it's 1 day.
I appreciate
cold
it.
air leaking out of the house 24/7. Window Nation was recently ranked highest on Forbes' list of best Windows installation companies, so you can trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. So stop paying more than you have to. Hurry up. Their sale is ending soon, so schedule a fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Love it. Tell them Go Bird sent you.
Yeah. Or James.
Or Elliot.
You think if you were like, James sent me, do you think they'd go like, oh, Seltzer?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think they'd be like, oh, James, our sales guy over there.
Yeah, I think they would probably just be like, come on, bro. No, they would be very nice about
it. I don't
it.
know what that is.
Yeah. You buying the windows or not? No.
King James?
Yes. Well, I would assume.
There have been many.
I mean, there's not many kings still
alive.
alive.
There are a few. Well, I mean, shout out to Charles.
Yeah, that would be the one, right? Yeah. I mean,
well, I'm sure there are kings in other countries.
Are there?
I don't think.
I'm just curious.
Only one monarch in the world
currently still riding?
Yes.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Let's do a little.
I would expect there to be not many alive true kings.
I bet you there's more than you think.
There might be 1 or 2, but I don't think there's like 12 walking the earth.
More
nah.
Like
what other
1 or 2?
You never hear
43.
Thank you.
Currently alive?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be something like.
How did you define the question?
You just Googled how many kings are alive.
There are 43 sovereign states.
Yes.
The monarch is.
That's what I was going to say to you. I was like, you think there's one monarch?
I'd be curious to hear the list. I'd be curious to hear the list. Hear the list of this.
I'm sure it's like the king of this place.
Give me a little bit of it.
Well, it just says there's 13 in Asia, 12 in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
There's 12 in Europe?
Apparently.
But is King Charles like the king of all of them?
No. What?
No.
So it does say he's monarch of 15. So
okay,
he is in charge of 15.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Okay. So those aren't true monarchs. Then.
But you can also go to Andorra, Belgium, Denmark, Luxembourg,
and he's
Norway,
not kings there.
Spain.
There's like a royal family. There's like a royal family of Denmark.
Liechtenstein.
Yeah. What did you again?
I don't know. You never hear about any of them. Like the only royal family.
It's the big one.
Yeah. Well, it's clearly
Did you thought that was the only one though?
Yes, I did. I didn't think there was like kings everywhere. We don't have a king in America, and I know for obvious reasons.
Yeah, King Philippe of Belgium.
Yeah. I'm a big King Philippe guy. Yeah. I got
King
a friend
Frederick
really,
the 10th.
Yeah.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Well, Frederick X. I'm gonna assume it's the 10th.
These kings need some PR.
Fred X.
You think it's related to Fred X?
Yeah.
Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I'm
maybe not in Denmark.
Same thing. Probably same thing. Yeah.
They need PR. They got to get something going here. Like think of all the attention and money the monarch gets, and like all these other kings are sitting around. They really should band together and be
I think
like,
you're probably doing fine from a financial perspective, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but you're not getting any of the buzz of being a king.
I bet you in your own country you do.
How many Americans do you think are aware there's more than one king? Probably not many.
Vast majority.
No.
I think a lot of people, they wouldn't be able to name the kings, but they would assume that there's more than one king.
I don't think they would.
I think you're wrong.
Well, we'll have to ask around.
Yeah, let us know, listeners.
Yeah.
Tweet it at Eliot Shorr-Parks.
We'll tweet at Go Birds.
Yeah, okay, that's better. I just want to make it funny.
Yeah, no, I know.
At Go Birds Bot on Twitter. Let us know. Did you know that there was more than one monarch in the world?
Yeah, and to be fair, I said maybe 3, but like
you said maybe 2.
Yeah, no, I said 2 or 3.
Yeah,
but
no, you said maybe 1 or 2. Actually. So there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tucker.
Surprise.
Nice assist from Tucker there. All right. Big week.
Yeah.
Like big week. And it's obviously big because it's division opponents. Like when we play Dallas, it's big. Obviously, Washington's ahead of you in the division. Big. But also a big week for how we feel about this team, what this season can be, where this season is headed. And then you got the Rams coming up after and the Ravens. Like it's a tough stretch.
Yeah,
here.
this is probably their toughest stretch they have left
of the season. So
yeah, because the Ravens are kind of the last tough game.
Where you at, Hetty? Look, so let's start with Dallas coming up, but then the overall week coming up. We won't get to the whole month. We got time for that.
Yeah.
And come hang out with us in Baltimore. We are going to that game with fans of Philly. We're going to go the night before. We're going to hang out.
Some people at the pregame show on Sunday were saying they're coming.
How
So we
about
got some fun
We're going to have a blast.
Yeah,
down there.
fans of Philly, Baltimore, come hang out with us. We'll be there Saturday night hanging out too.
Yeah, we're gonna.
That's an important part. Like if you're coming on the trip,
yeah, come chill with us.
Yeah, like come hang. Oh, you should still go, but
we are leaving our show on
Saturday.
Going
right to Baltimore.
And driving right to Baltimore. So coming out is gonna be awesome.
I feel good about the week going in.
So let's start with the Dallas thing, in that you have, and I know you've already committed.
I know, but we have to talk about that. We have to talk about it.
No, injuries shouldn't change a commitment.
No, but let me.
So for those who don't know, Eliot Shorr-Parks has said that, and for years now,
yes,
I will never pick them to win in Dallas until they win in Dallas. When was the last time they won in Dallas? Like 2017?
Year they won the Super Bowl.
So it was 20. I thought so. It's been a long.
And I think they actually played a backup then too, if I'm not mistaken. They smashed Dallas that day. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know they smashed Dallas. Remember Nigel Bradham had like
it was the 37-9 game, right?
Yeah, I'm saying I think.
Oh, it
Dallas
might have been like
Danucci
or something.
Yeah. I'm sure Tucker's about to let us know. But
so he's a good producer.
So here's where I need some honest opinion on. Ready?
No, Prescott played.
Okay.
Threw 3 picks though.
Idiot.
Here's the thing though. If I'm gonna pick Dallas,
you were there. Like,
yeah. Well, look, the games blend together at this point. If I'm gonna pick Dallas, then I think it shouldn't count against my official record.
No.
But then I'm picking them.
You have to pick who you think is going.
I think the Eagles are going to win the game,
and then you could change your pick.
Okay, I'm just saying, like you're right. I have been doing the whole.
You have, yeah.
But maybe I need to stick to it. Like I don't know.
This is a you thing. I mean, and an embarrassment with the listeners thing, and I
have to tweet it out. No one's going to get it.
There's also the like you forge a bond. We never lie to our listeners. Like you.
I know.
But it's this. You know what it is? It's like a trust. You form a level.
But it feels like a unique situation.
To know that if you say something,
right,
that listener.
I agree. That's why I'm conflicted.
Who gives us their time? Like is willing. They put us inside their ears. They bring us inside to their.
But
world.
Am I lying?
Like they open their world to us. We become a part of their world, which is the most humbling.
I agree with that.
I'm so grateful for that. And there's a bond created.
So then, how can I lie?
Trust, and then. You say, I promise you, I will do this thing. And now the thing's coming up. And you're like, well, I promise.
But aren't I also lying?
I don't know,
Aren't I also lying by picking them even though I think they're going to win? Like I don't.
Then why'd you say that bold there?
Well, I didn't think Cooper Rush should be playing.
Statement.
But anyway, we'll update it.
Yeah.
We'll decide on Go Birds.
You got until that. You got, a little bit of time.
Well, I can pick them with the points. That doesn't mean Well, no, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Eagles are favorite, buddy.
I know they are.
You can take Dallas with the points.
So yeah, I could. That might be a fair compromise. Mm-hmm. Sacrifice a game. And by the way, I'm up a game on you.
You won the one game that we had.
It is unbelievable how good we're doing.
We have been insanely
like
good
this is like they'll tell the story of this season. Yeah.
Again, we have to pick every game. Like most people are like, here are my 5 favorites.
Right, we pick every single one.
3 favorites.
And we're at 60%.
It's obnoxious.
Yes. All right, so here's my thought on the Dallas game. Early in the season, there was a lot of like, Dallas isn't that good. And I was still in the camp of, nah. Man, let me tell you.
Not good.
Not good.
Not a good
Dallas, team. Not good. Like, they really, on offense, only have CeeDee Lamb. And then Dak, but Dak's not playing. Their backup receivers are no good. They just traded for Jonathan Mingo, who, look, was a second-round pick.
But has done zip.
But he's been with bad quarterbacks.
True.
But I think for this exact week, like, you're not going to see Jonathan Mingo.
You don't worry about Mingo coming in and causing too much
Brandon Cooks might come back, like, but he's kind of cooked and hasn't played in a month. Cooks is cooked. Like, in Cooper Rush, so here's the interesting about Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is 5-1 as a starter. But in those games, he is averaging 22 points on offense, and the defense is giving up an average of 11 points. Mm-hmm. So
very different Dallas defense this year.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. Like, who knows what Eagles team will show up? Although I feel pretty confident they're in a good stretch here. Like, Jaguars thing got ugly at the end, but they came in and played well in that game. If the Eagles score over 23 points, they should win the game. And I think they will. Like, we'll see. Dallas's defense also not that good. Like, their secondary is not great. Their defense is near the bottom of the league in a ton of different categories. Like, they're not a great team. So going into this game, I understand the trap element of it. I think the worry is it's always hard to play in Dallas, just is. Although I'll be curious to see what the crowd is like. Like if it's like an ugly crowd. Because of
I don't know. They're just so nice down there. They don't really care that much. You remember?
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying.
That was the most disappointing thing.
Dude,
they're so nice to me.
Yeah.
All the Cowboys fans, my team's getting stomped. They're like, hey man, it's okay. You know, don't worry about it.
When you're up big, it's probably easier to be
Thanks for
nicer.
coming down. It's really nice to have you here. Like, I was like, damn it.
Standing by yourself.
I want to hate you guys. I want to hate you guys.
But I think there's also the element of Cooper Rush could provide a spark. Like, so we've seen it with the Eagles, a backup quarterback. Now he's not Nick Foles.
I'm not as worried about a spark. I am worried about the trap game thing. Like, I am. I think
a spark is part of it.
Well,
oh, you mean the Eagles looking ahead to Washington? See,
it's for two reasons. One, it's a bigger game and it's Thursday, so it's not like, oh, it's next Sunday. They're looking ahead to a game they're playing 4 days after this football game. And no matter what, I think no matter who you're playing on a Thursday, I think if you're an NFL player, when you're playing that Sunday game, you know you have a Thursday game. Like, you're not idiots. You know what the schedule is.
And I think they're already preparing.
Right. And I think you think about that. And it's something that you just have in the back of your mind. So I think that is something. And then secondly, I think it's just hard to look on tape, see the way the team looks, and know without Dak. Like, I think it's human nature to be like, well, they don't have Dak. Like, we don't have to take this quite as seriously. We can kind of, we got this big one coming up against Washington. So again, I'm not saying they will do that. I'm saying that is my only fear for this game. Like, I think if you just line up, like, the Eagles are way better right now.
Yeah, they're way better.
The talent, ability, the way they've been playing, like, the Eagles are a way better football team. But this is the NFL, and this stuff happens all the freaking time, like all the time. And like, the Eagles always lose to teams they shouldn't. And we see so many times where a team looks past a team and goes on to the next one. And like, that is my only worry.
I agree with you. Like, I do agree with you on that. The only thing is, I'll say now, from being there, it's a type of stadium where, like, I think it's
a hard place to
play. But I think the flip side of that is, like, it's hard to be checked out in that stadium. Like, it is such like a stage and the crowd. Like, I think you get natural juices just from playing in that stadium. But to your point,
but
and
also the sense memory of these guys, like, Jalen's never played well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Jalen's going into that building, and like, no matter whether he can beat it or not, anyone can. He is going in there. All his memories are bad.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this place isn't good to me. Like, it's
100%.
You know, I think that's real.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I do think, though, just like the talent discrepancy, yeah,
and the way they're playing and the vibes and all of it.
Well, here's the other thing. We haven't talked about this.
And they're not never going to win in Dallas again.
Right.
You know,
Jalen didn't practice Wednesday. And
what?
You didn't know Jalen didn't practice?
I didn't even realize this.
Yeah, he didn't practice. He was listed as out with rest.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, he's not once in my entire time covering him has he rested through a practice.
But they didn't put an injury there, so I'm not.
No, I know, but
I think it's because of Thursday.
I think there's two things. Yeah. One, to your point about, like, they're clearly resting guys.
There was a bunch ready for 2 games. So
to your point about a trap game, like,
yeah,
they're not practicing as hard going into the week. But my antennas are up on the Jalen thing. Ooh. Like, you don't rest your starting quarterback. It was a walkthrough. You don't rest them. Like, it's just weird to me.
So today, you're actually antennas up going into today.
I think he'll play versus Dallas. That's not my concern. I just think Jalen's dealing with something. And so,
why would they put rest then? Have to put something.
Well, but if it's like a bump and a bruise, I don't know. Like, it's just weird.
So you think he's dealing with something very minor?
Yeah, I think there is something that's bothering him, is why he's not practicing.
Don't love that.
I mean, he's never rested.
I don't love it.
I know, I agree. That's why I'm bringing it up.
He also has never had the biggest game of his season being a Thursday night game after a game in Dallas.
Yeah, look, again, I think he's going to play. He's playing well. Like, I'm not saying he's like,
No, I get it. But no, it's notable. It's notable.
It's
some ways you've never had.
He's taken some hits the past 2 weeks. Like, I've never seen him rest. So
okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Are we picking right now, or are we doing on the Parks pod?
No. Oh, we'll pick on the Parks pod.
Okay. All right. And we have the show.
Final thoughts? Anything else you got?
Eagles related?
Yeah.
I think EJ. I think AJ is going to play. He was out there. He looked awesome.
Yeah,
I think they dodged a bullet with that
massively.
Yeah. Also, just a random thought. Like, I think Quinyon gets a pick this week.
Oh,
Cooper Rush turns it over a lot. Quinyon's been close. Quinyon will probably be on CD. But also Cooper, like, CD lines up in the slot a lot.
Yeah, it's a shame that I think it's going to be really hard for Quinyon to win Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, just because it's hard for corners to do that. Like, they basically have to have like a Sauce Gardner type year. But I think he deserves it. You know, shout out to Drew from Westchester and Justin in Tennessee. They were pumping that Jared Verse bandwagon, and he's clearly the front runner for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's awesome. So
could have used him. I would still probably. Would you take him or Quinyon?
I would still take Quinyon, especially because of the long-term thing.
Yeah,
with the knees that we talked about.
Yeah, true. That's a good point.
I don't know how long Jared Verse lasts, but I think those are the if you redraft it, I think they're the first 2 defensive players taken without it.
I agree with that.
So, all right, let's get to final thoughts.
All right. So I have a good one. Well, I have a few good ones. Okay. So you know how once the Eagles kick the ball off, there's like the little kickstand or whatever, like the ball is on. I think the guy that runs out to get that thing should wear a uniform like a Bat Boy does. Bat Boys wear a uniform.
No, I get it.
Like,
Yeah.
he's on the field.
No, it isn't a bad. So does he just wear normal clothes?
Yeah, he doesn't wear a uniform. Yeah. Like, I'm talking like pants,
You're
helmet.
talking like an Eagles uniform.
Yeah, I'm saying he should wear essentially what the Bat Boy wears. Yeah, the Bat Boy
pads.
Yeah, with pads.
Don't you worry that he could get like a mistake could be made?
Well,
Like he gets
I mean,
pummeled
we don't
'cause
worry
they think
about
it's a
that with the
football
Bat Boy. He's not on there during the
Bat
play,
Boy's not
right?
playing a combat sport.
If I'm not
the
mistaken,
Bat Boy is
he
not
doesn't.
in danger of men running around at full speed
Right,
on the field.
But
that
I
could
don't
hit
think
him.
the guy goes and gets it during the play, does he?
A Bat Boy, yeah, well, he has to.
No. I'm talking about the guy that gets the kickoff thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Regardless,
you're the one who watches that.
Yeah, I'll have to. Well, that would even help my
I'm not at the
reasoning
field.
even
That's
more.
the kind of thing where you have to be at the game to see that. Like I actually, that's why I
Right.
didn't even know what he wore.
I'm gonna monitor it.
I
now.
never see it.
No, he
You
wears
don't see
like
that,
you
you
know,
don't see it on TV, like
like regular garb.
camera moves
Yeah,
away.
yeah. So I'll look at it.
Regular garb.
I'll look at it this week. But like, especially if he's on the field while the play is happening, which would make some sense. You don't want the player tripping over that thing. I think he should have a helmet and shoulder pads on, just like a Bat Boy.
Okay. Sure.
Just saying.
Okay.
It could say it could say
I have
kickoff boy on the back.
what I think is a great final thought. But first, I'm going to do something I don't do very often. Give it a quick shout out.
Oh.
Shout out to Chris Cahill.
Okay.
Chris Cahill. I see him once a year.
Do I know
at
this guy?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Remember I went to that beer party a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
I told
yeah.
you I was like, I got to go to this beer party.
Yep.
Whatever. I see Chris once a year at this party.
Isn't there an actor whose name is close to that?
I don't know.
He was in American Pie, maybe. Go ahead.
Chris Klein is in American Pie.
The guy,
The dumbass kind of like.
yeah, isn't he the one
whatever.
that dates the mom?
Chris Klein.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
No, the one who dates the mom is S-Break is remember they call him S-Break. I think his name is Eddie. Maybe the character.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, right,
Anyway.
right.
Chris Cahill, as real one as it gets. Like
Really?
yeah, also just a great guy. We hang
Listens
out every
to the
year at
pod?
this party. Like deep cuts. Like,
Wow,
he was
all right.
throwing out some like Elliot blah, this, that. I was
All
like,
right,
my
I like
man
that.
listens deep.
Maybe I'll
So
come to
shout
the
out
next
Chris
beer
Cahill.
party.
Freaking awesome. You should.
I should.
Awesome
I
guy.
wasn't invited.
Chris Cahill. I want to hang out with him more. Chris, hit me up. Let's hang.
You should come to
Phenomenal
Baltimore.
guy. But you come to Baltimore.
He sounds like a
We-
perfect Baltimore guy.
Super real one.
Your friends.
So,
I mean, honestly, he could probably drive with us.
yeah, shout out to Chris Cahill.
Maybe, yeah.
Come with us. All right, here's my actual final thought, though. I think this is a really, really, really great one. And I
All right.
know there are probably a lot of people who won't.
Welcome
I
to
don't know
my
about
level.
you, and I think we've all been guilty of it at times. We all, have made mistakes, but like, especially when
such a good one. Sorry.
oh, good, we got another pod coming up.
Yeah. Let me write down.
When I'm walking around the city or even driving wherever, like, I feel like we've gotten to the point where most people are looking down at their phones instead of at the road. Like, it's
Well, yeah, I
actually
think that's
pretty scary. Like
yeah.
when you walk, especially, you notice it. Like you're walking up.
yeah. If you're walking through the city, you're looking at your phone.
So I think that cars should, like, you know how if you get a
Here's where this is going.
yeah, you know if you get a DUI, like, or multiple DUIs or whatever, there's that thing we have to blow into the thing to be able to.
Yes.
start it.
Yes.
I think we should have a phone lock thing where you have to put your phone, and it can attach to the car so you can talk, you can all the way,
Right.
but like your phone,
You're locking your phone.
you're
right.
locking your phone. Your car does not start until your phone is locked in thing. And it could be something where, again, it should be something with the car manufacturers, giving you an idea here,
Right.
where you could do everything with your phone in terms of the music. You could talk on the phone all through your car. Like, so you're not losing the ability to listen to pods or whatever, but you cannot pick up your phone. You cannot text. You cannot look at your phone in that way. Maybe you can voice text over the thing.
Right.
That'd be a nice addition to it or whatever. But like, enough. Like,
All right.
we have to take this out of people's hands. Like, it's scary. I'm walking my daughter around the city, and like, I'll look up and people are like going through red lights because they're just looking at.
Oh,
their
so you're
freaking
talking about
phone.
people in the car on the phone.
I'm talking about
Okay, I thought you
drivers.
were talking about walkers.
No,
Okay.
I'm talking about a driver.
Yeah, I got
A
you.
driver, when you get in a car, your car should not start until you've locked your phone. And look, if you don't have a phone, I know there's a lot of scenarios.
Well, hold
This
on.
isn't a
Let's not get to the
perfect answer.
specifics here. Like,
I'm saying you should have to lock your phone in, like, so you cannot hold your phone while you're driving.
okay. So first, let me start before I give my feedback. Love the idea.
Thank you.
I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
I'm in on it. Here's what I would say: some like constructive,
Yeah, because it's
potential
not,
next
this is,
steps.
I
Yeah,
just thought of it.
but I'm
This
in
is
on
not-
it.
Okay.
I think it'd be a great Shark Tank idea. by
Okay,
the
it
way.
would be, right?
Yeah. All right. So here's my idea of how I think it would work. I get what you're saying about the music. I think it only works if like you can't use it. Like the phone is a way. And like if you think so many cars nowadays have like stuff on the screen, like
right.
so, and I also
But,
think
but in terms of like the only, like, I'm saying you should be able to listen to your podcast and stuff when you drive.
yeah,
if you want
set it all
to.
up
Yeah.
before you put it in there. Once that
Sure.
thing is
Oh,
locked
yeah,
in.
but then you can only do it on the screen like you would be able to driving, like if you change a radio station or something.
So Yeah, we'd have to figure out that part. But I think the premise of your
only go so far.
the premise of your idea is correct.
Thank you.
There should be something in the car that you lock your phone away. So
Yep.
you're not like that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And then we can figure out the different
We
dynamics.
can figure out
of
all
it.
the specifics.
But where I think it'd be especially useful is I think there should, and I'll take this step further, be like maybe a federal law that the first year you have your license, you have to have it in your car.
Totally.
Right? Like I think that is the next step of it.
Yeah.
Like I agree. I get your point about the DUI thing. And I think like it would be hard to prove an accident happened because you're on your phone. Like it's very easy to prove with a DUI. Like you're drunk.
You're
right?
drunk. Exactly.
You could just put your phone down after
But
that.
we all know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It
would be hard to see,
Again,
yeah.
I'm driving next to people and I look over and they're looking down at their
Right.
phone. It's very clear what you're doing.
But I think what I'm saying is I think that it should be like you get your license for a year, you have this thing in your car and your phone's locked away.
I love that.
I think I think it's a
it
very
should be
good
an
idea.
automatic for that.
Yeah, where I'm saying is like I get the DUI part of it where it is like a punishment.
Oh
involved.
no, I'm not. I'm saying I just use that as an example of like do you have to blow to get your
Oh,
car
I
to
get what you're
start? I was
saying.
saying like you have to lock your phone for your car to
Yes,
start.
yeah.
I'm saying the car won't. It has nothing to do with the punishment part.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this for
No,
punishment.
right.
I'm saying your car should not be able to start until you lock your phone in that spot.
I think
And you can't even turn your car on if you don't lock your
You
phone.
know who would love this idea? Spike.
Yeah,
Spike's a big time don't text and drive.
he's
guy.
right.
Yeah. No.
But it's gotten to the point where it's like just I feel like everyone does it.
Well, I think like sometimes we say everyone does it and it sounds like we're exaggerating. I think everybody looks at their phone while they drive. Now, some people are more reckless with it.
Yeah.
But like I don't think there's a single person that is a license right now
That is not pulled
that
their
is
phone
not
out.
been driving and like checking a text or like driving. I'm doing a wheel here.
Yeah.
Driving and like changing this. Like, yeah, I agree.
It's so dangerous.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree.
So there we
But
go.
also with self-driving cars,
I
maybe
felt
this.
well, yeah, but the problem with self-driving cars, we need everyone to get them.
Yeah. No, I know. But I mean, maybe it's something in 30 years.
I
It's not as big
agree.
of a problem.
Yeah,
But you are right when you think about it. I think often about Sam Hinkie said on a pod once that we'll look back on self-driving cars and be floored that we ever did it.
I totally
Just because of the human error aspect of
I
it.
totally agree.
It's a very Sam Hinkie quote too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in. I love it.
I felt really good about it.
Yeah.
So I needed you on board.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fantastic. I can already picture the shark sitting there being like, this is a great idea.
Yeah. I feel good about
I might even steal it.
Hey, I just said
Spread
it
the word. Yeah, it's a good point. Everyone would know at this
Hey,
point.
you know what? Fine. Steal it. Like this is for
I'm
the
not going to
greater
create
good.
it. I want
No,
to
I'm just saying
brag
this is
to
for the
people
greater
about it.
good. Like this
Yeah.
is something that is actually for everybody. Like, so please take it.
I
Run.
agree. I think it's a great idea.
Maybe call it the James.
No big deal to you. No big deal to you.
All right. Tomorrow, Parks Picks Pod. If you're listening to YouTube, don't go anywhere if you're watching.
Yeah, we're right here.
And then Saturday, 1 to 3, our normal show at
Yes.
Parks. Big game to preview. We want to talk to our real ones. So until then, he's Item J. Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. You love to play, you play to win, you bet. Bet Parks. It's the Bet Parks Picks Pod.
It is.
Well, one of the great alliterative things we've ever come up with. The Bet Parks Picks Pod is
Yeah, it does.
perfect.
It flows perfectly.
flows.
Like obviously, I hope Parks is always involved, but I have thought it would be sad to like.
Oh my God, it'd be devastating.
Yeah.
That's why they have to always.
Exactly.
Parks
They're
can't go
family
anywhere.
now.
We love
Yeah.
you.
Them
Yeah.
and Window Nation. You're locked in.
Locked
to
in
tell you.
forever.
Yeah.
How you doing, pal?
Doing good.
Long time no peek. Speak.
It's been a peak.
No
Speak.
time no
Yeah.
peek.
It's good.
I haven't peeked in a while, man. I really got to get my peak on.
Well, look, I started the last pod with this, but now that I'm
Workout guy.
sweat, sauna, steam room,
Oh,
shower,
man.
4 S's.
Yeah.
Start the day with it. Yeah.
So much effort.
It's amazing.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
man.
it's been good.
I'm happy you're happy.
Thank you.
My other, and now this is funny because we're gonna start both pods with to talk about the gym.
Yeah.
My other issue is like, and I'm sure this is why you had the thing in your basement for a while, but then you can't you need more at the gym. There's so much more you could
Yeah.
do there, not. But like just the idea of having to leave my house to go somewhere to do these things.
Well, so here's what I think.
when I could run outside, when I get this, and not that I'm saying I do these things, I'm
Right.
just saying it's so hard for me to justify or want to like go to it.
Here's what I've learned about how my
I won't do it unless you go.
no, the motivation is like it has to be luxurious. Like I get nice coffee, I get the steam room, the sauna. Like it's pretty there.
I
Like I
get it.
feel like the working out. I go because I want to be there, and then the working out is what I
Yeah.
have to do.
I just wouldn't want to be there. I feel like.
I think if you joined, you.
I don't
but
really
you're
like
again.
to-
You're not a workout.
I
guy.
don't
Like,
also
you're
just
just
don't.
not.
Yeah, as you know, I really don't like to be anywhere but my house.
I know, right.
All the things equal. Like
Right.
I'd prefer to stay in my house always.
But again, not all of us are as lucky just to
I
never
know.
put on weight and be in shape despite eating whatever you
I
want.
got.
Mr.
I've
McDonald's
actually been
over
gaining. I
here.
actually do need to work out a little bit. I've been gaining.
I think
a
it'd be
little bit.
good. You feel good. You feel
I
good
know.
about yourself.
I've actually been thinking about it.
You're welcome to come on a guest pass if you'd like.
Look at this.
Steam room, sauna. I did a cold tub. Oh wait, there we go. Cold tub. Hard. Very cold.
Sounds horrible.
You know what my first?
Why? What's the thought with the cold tub?
I think it shocks your body, like it like wakes you up a little. Someone was telling me that if you do a cold tub, then the sauna or then the hot tub, it like helps your body burn fat. I don't know, but anyway, here's my take that I had. Ready? This is.
I just gave one of these.
You know how like I've normalized saying things that I'm not embarrassed. Like I will say things I don't know, right?
Oh yeah, very clearly. You will
normalize being honest about what you know.
Ignorance.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So I've always thought like, actually, never mind. I don't think I should. Yeah.
After the lead-in, that was so much better.
All right, actually, here. Okay, fine. I'll say it.
You don't have to do it.
After being in a cold tub, like I understand how people die from freezing in the ocean. I used to always think like, why don't you just like, how cold could it get? But after being,
really, dude,
I'm just letting you know. That was my first thought when I was in the cold tub. Like, I get it now.
You've never been cold before in your life, like really cold.
Not in water that cold. Have you ever been in water that cold? Like 30 degrees?
Yes, but also,
when?
Well, I've done the like polar plunge.
Oh, you have done?
Yeah. But also,
pretty cold.
It's freezing. But also, like,
I was aware it happened. I just never knew what that sensation would feel like. Obviously.
You're like, oh, I get it.
So now that when I was sitting in the cold tub for 30 seconds, I was thinking like, man, that would really suck.
Yeah, it's a good take.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it was just my thought, and I thought of the Titanic.
Don't freeze to death.
Yeah,
and I thought of the Titanic. It's really good.
Like you can see why Leonardo DiCaprio was like not good.
Yeah. Well, can you see why she didn't let him on the door? I can't.
Well, so I've thought about that, and like I do wonder if it would be hard to get on there without her falling off. Like the balancing of it. Like it's not a
all right, James Cameron.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
I think it'd be harder than you think.
Right.
It'd be harder than you
flaw.
It'd be harder than you think to get him on there.
A horrible movie. Why would
Oh, you got it. Dude, have I told you my Titanic?
I just know you like it. That's
when I was young, I swept porches in the neighborhood like a quarter at a time to save up enough money to buy it on VHS.
Thank you. That was the double VHS too.
Yeah, it was the double VHS.
I remember
absolutely
that.
Still was. Quarter at a time.
I'm happy you're old enough to remember the two VHS.
Yeah,
days,
well,
that is something that
I'm
is
sure I've
old
told
school.
this story on the pod. But Pearl Harbor, I rented Pearl Harbor. It came on 2 DVDs, and I assumed to myself, well, the movie's probably just on both DVDs. So I put the second one in first, and it started off with Pearl Harbor, and I'm like, wow, they really get right into
They
this.
jump right in.
And then like 35 minutes later, I'm like, it's over. I'm like, that's crazy. Now, granted, I already knew Pearl Harbor was how it was going to end. So
Did you?
Yeah, so it wasn't like a spoiler, but yeah.
Did you ever go back and watch the whole movie?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Much on that one.
Yeah, doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I'm not a Titanic guy.
Why? It's great.
Because it's not great, and it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes long or whatever.
Well, I agree with you on the. First of all, I think it's actually shorter than you think. I think it was long for back in the day. I don't think it's 3 hours. I think it's over 2. But I don't
like to bet. I'm without looking. I
over 3 hours.
I have not seen Titanic since it came out. Yes, I will. I will bet you whatever you want.
I'll bet you it's under 3 hours.
What do you want to bet?
I don't know. We're bad at this.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I'll bet my life.
How about this? I'll pay for the Wawa on the way to Paris.
Okay. All right. And I'll pay for it.
Over. I'm saying under 3 hours. Now, if it's 2 minutes and if it's 2 hours and 59 minutes, I win.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Well, this is an interesting answer. Wow. So the official runtime is 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Bang.
Hold on. But he wins, but hold on.
I win. Yeah.
If you take out all scenes set in the modern day and the credits, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
So you're saying the original one that played in the theater?
No. He's saying if you take out like the Bill Paxton part, if you take out the old lady and stuff, then it is. But that's part of the movie. He's talking about just the Titanic, the old school parts. But that's part of the movie.
Well, no. So look, I'm acknowledging it seems like you win.
No, I did win.
No. But the only question I have is he talking about?
He's talking about the Bill when they're searching under the water. He's talking about the old lady in the necklace. Like he's saying things that didn't happen in the past
I get what he's saying.
movie.
Well, why would anybody clarify?
I don't know.
That?
That's such a weird thing to clarify.
I thought he was meaning like extra scenes in an updated
3 hours
version.
and 15 minutes.
Okay, you win.
I knew I knew I was. Yeah. I did say I'd bet my life.
Now I will take.
That was probably a spot where you should have been like, you seem really confident about this. Maybe
I will take a moral victory.
I've thought about watching it before and being like going back because I haven't watched it since 1997 when it came out. And I've been like, oh, everyone loves it. Like I should rewatch it at some point. And every time I'm like, I can't believe this is over 3 hours.
Now look, I think there's a debate if credit should count. I'm giving you the win.
But 3 hours and 15 minutes.
No, I know, right? It doesn't matter.
I won
don't
handily
think so.
here.
Yeah, handily is strong.
3 hours and 15. What? It wasn't 3 hours 2. You were like, it was 2:59. I win.
But I don't think credits count.
Whatever. Then it's 3 hours and 8 minutes.
Well, then the victory becomes less. Is the point I'm making. If you take away the credits, you won less
very handily here. It's
so weird. It said if you don't include the other scenes, like why would it? Read it again. Read it again.
So I clicked on the article. That was the title. It said it's 3:15. It's 2:40 in the past. So
That's just a
stuff
weird way to
that-
It's
phrase
such a
that.
dumb
I don't
Yeah.
know why you would decide.
The point
and
is, the
break it
movie's
up that
3
way.
hours and 15 minutes
3:50.
long.
Right.
I was right.
I'm gonna
You
do
were
a
wrong.
little research on my own, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you start.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Let's
look up the
dive in
IMDb.
here off of my victory as I plan
Wow,
to
it's
get
crazy.
another
It was
victory.
1997.
I know.
Did you know someone spoiled it for me before I saw it? I saw it in the theaters. We're walking in, and someone's like, "Can you believe he dies?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
What?
I mean, I guess that's a spoil.
Hold up.
Yeah, I was like 8 or whatever.
Honestly, whoever that person is, they should be shot.
Isn't that wild?
Like I'm not pulling punches.
All
Here.
right, so
They
the
should
IMDb
be-
is 3 hours and 14 minutes. So you win.
I know
Undisputed.
I was always
Yes,
gonna win.
yes,
Never any
but-
doubt I was gonna win. Don't come into my wheelhouse here. All right.
Well,
talking
Titanic's
movies.
my wheelhouse.
We're
You
talking
just-
movies, 90s movies, no less. Don't come into my wheelhouse. You don't mess with You
All
get
right,
the mess
fair.
with the bull, you get the horns.
Fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the movie. Though. I should rewatch it though, because I haven't seen it in almost 30 years.
Yeah, it's romantic. It's fun. There's
Yeah.
action.
Much better movie that year, LA Confidential.
I mean, I haven't seen it, and there's no way it's better. But
How would you know?
well,
Again, speaking from ignorance, you
I
have no
just-
idea. LA Confidential
very
is a
surprised.
all-time great
I'd be
movie.
very surprised.
It is
So is
such a
Titanic.
great movie.
Titanic's an all-time great movie.
Watch LA Confidential and then we'll talk.
Nah, we'll see.
Oh, come on. It's got a bunch of stars. You like stars?
I do like stars.
Yeah, a lot of famous people in it.
Yeah, maybe.
Russell Crowe before he was Russell Crowe, like early Russell Crowe.
right.
Kevin Spacey.
Russell Crowe's a Leeds fan.
Guy Pearce. James Cromwell. You love James Cromwell?
I don't know who that is.
You
I probably
do.
recognize him.
He's Logan Roy's brother in Succession.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. He's a
Mhm.
good guy. Wow, he's in a movie that long ago? I guess he's old in
He's
that one.
old,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. He's the one that runs for president you're talking about, right?
What?
The guy in Succession.
No, that's his son. Are you
Oh, I thought you were
serious?
talking about the
Logan Roy's brother. the one who's
Logan
on the-
Roy's not the
Greg's,
main-
Greg's
Yes,
grandfather.
yes. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
that's James Cromwell.
All right. Yeah, I like him. I
Mhm.
don't love him, but
You should. Kim Basinger won an Oscar for it. David Strathairn. What a cast.
well, didn't Titanic get Picture of the Year that year?
Best Picture.
That's
Yes,
what I thought.
it won a lot of Oscars. That doesn't mean
Over
it's a
LA
better movie.
Confidential,
Yes,
correct?
LA
Yeah.
Confidential was the top contender to beat it. It wasn't going to ever.
Didn't win it though.
No.
Just to clarify. Okay.
Because Titanic is
Was better.
trash.
All right.
All right, let's roll. That was a lot of Titanic.
That was like 12 minutes.
Was it
Titanic.
really? All right,
Yeah.
let's blow through these picks then.
Yeah.
All right. Should I do the read before?
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Bengals at Ravens
Is that tonight?
tonight.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good one.
Yeah. Bengals at the Ravens. So it's in Baltimore, obviously. Baltimore -5.
6.
Mm.
All right, not bad. Not bad. I
I'm
love
gonna
how
take the
angry you get.
Ravens. Take the Ravens.
I'm gonna take the points.
All right.
I think it's a close game. I don't think the Bengals necessarily win, but their season is on the line. a
Saying
lot
you're
more.
taking the points is a good way to say you don't believe in the team. You're just
Yeah.
taking the points.
Yeah, I'm taking the points. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Off to a good start.
Yeah.
Giants.
Not a parlay game, obviously.
You think?
Yeah.
Giants and Panthers. Ew. Yeah.
Wow.
Gross.
Oh,
This
in
is in
Germany, by
Germany,
the
yes.
way.
This is what we export.
Yeah. But to be fair, like soccer teams overseas also export not great teams sometimes. That's actually not true. They send their
It's
best
trash.
teams over
It's,
here.
in the running for the worst game of the season.
So it's probably a weird line. Giants -3.5.
6.5.
The Giants are 6.
6.5.
I mean, I know Carolina sucks, but
The Giants suck too.
yeah. I'm gonna take the
I am too. I think I'm going to take the points.
Yeah, I'll
here.
take the
Feels like a
points.
lot of points.
not a parlay game, but like kind
no,
of might be.
I can't.
to the Germany. Germany
They're
beat us-
Germany. I
yeah.
told you it's weird.
foreign
but
game
that just
beat us
feels like way
before.
too many points for a weird Germany game.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it rolling. The Falcons at the Saints.
Talk about a game that's really exciting
Who's
for
the
like.
Saints' coach? Do we know who the
Oh,
other
no,
guys?
I don't know.
What's his name?
That's right. They fired Dennis Allen.
Mhm.
This is such a big time game to people that like are not like who cares about NFC South rivalries.
Oh,
It's
but
like, oh, it's the Falcons, the Saints.
well, there is no rivalry. The
for
Falcons are going to
10,000
division
people.
going away. It looks like.
No, I know, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
it's not like Eagles, Cowboys, or Packers,
No, it's not,
Bears.
yeah.
It's like, but it should be because it's divisional. Where's it at again?
New Orleans.
Falcons -7.
4.
I like this as a parlay game.
So I think the teams respond. when their
Really?
coach
Oh
gets fired.
yeah, that's fair.
I feel like there's usually a 1 week bump where
Yeah,
they kind
that's
of
a good
play
point.
hard.
That's a good
'cause they're
point.
go- So like I don't know. I don't feel great about it, but I might take the plus 4.
Okay, I would have loved it as a parlay game.
Derek
but-
Carr there. You know,
Yeah.
so you're taking the Falcons. Then.
Yes.
All right, let's keep it rolling. I like this. We got to mix it up a little bit.
Now, how would okay? Never mind.
Go ahead.
Would you feel about like alternate lines down to 3? Guess it wouldn't help us really.
Wouldn't help.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. All right. Bills at the Colts.
Man, benching Anthony Richardson. What a dumb move.
Wow, really? You think
Yeah,
so?
yeah, I do. Are you being facetious?
No, I
Yeah.
actually think you had to bench
I just
him.
think like what are you doing with Joe Flacco?
Long term,
How are
I
you
get
building
it,
for next year?
I don't. But when your quarterback says that he took a playoff because he was tired, like I don't think you can let that slide. Like I think for the players in the locker room, like
you bench him the whole year. That seems pretty.
I don't know. I've definitely benched him for a few games.
Right,
like,
but I think
that guy can't be my quarterback. For a few games.
I think you got to put the betterment of the franchise.
He said he was tired.
I get that.
He said he left the field.
Now, here's what I would say
Again,
to people.
I agree
to people that are ripping him.
but you also have to have 52 other guys be willing to play for and with the guy.
Here would be my counter to that. Like he was running a lot. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, I mean, like everyone's dunking on him. If he's really tired, what do you want him to do? Like
keep playing.
Okay, I'm fine with that, but I don't
there's
think
no other side.
I don't think he took a playoff because I just think people are being a little harsh. A little harsh.
How have you ever seen that?
No,
in your history.
But also, we have way more running quarterbacks than we used to.
No excuse.
Look, I don't love it. I agree. He's not in shape, but I don't think he quit on the team. I think he clearly felt tired.
That's not acceptable.
It's not great. I agree.
Man up and tough it out.
But I think people
supposed to be a leader.
Right.
How do you close? How do you follow that guy? It was so close. I didn't finish it. I think
I
said fa. It was fine.
All right. I'll stop defending him. I think people are overreacting a little bit. It's not great. It's not great.
I think it's an all-time bad thing. Bills at Colts.
Bills at Colts. I'm gonna go Buffalo -5.
4.
I'm gonna take the Bills.
I am too.
Yeah.
Maybe a parlay game.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I'd be
all right. That's fine. Just checking.
Joe Flacco's a little weird, like a little frisky.
All right.
But I don't hate it. Like we can come back to it.
Broncos at Chiefs.
Man, I was hoping Carson was gonna go in last week when Mahomes looked he was hurt. Like, could you imagine Carson? Like, oh my God, prime time, like just
amazing.
Who are the Chiefs playing again?
Broncos. Chiefs.
Kansas City -6.
8. I feel like they keep giving Kansas City these high lines, and I feel like they don't cover.
Well, and also
them.
the Mahomes thing, like I'm sure he's fine.
They haven't covered any of them. They didn't cover last week. They didn't cover the week before. Like,
but I'm still gonna take the Chiefs.
I'm gonna take the Broncos.
In Kansas City.
I'm gonna take the points. I think it's
all right.
close.
This is gonna be a big week.
I think they win.
We're already on the flip side of a lot.
I don't feel great about this one. Of all the picks, this one makes me feel. But I'm gonna take the Broncos. All right. Vikings at the Jags.
I saw Trevor Lawrence might not play.
Ooh.
So I don't know when you look these lines up because I saw it earlier today. Okay.
I can check if it's changed.
It's fine. It's fine.
Can't hurt.
So who they playing again? Jacksonville, he said?
Jacksonville is home against the Vikes.
Vikings -6.
4.5. Now let me check to see if
the Jaguars do play teams close. I'm okay with taking Minnesota here though if we want to do parlay.
So the line. Oh, it has moved. So
okay,
it looks like Lawrence is up to 6.5.
And what was my guess? 6.
You say that was a good guess.
So yeah,
all right. So we should pick it off 6.5 then.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I mean,
you got to take
Minnesota's defense is awesome.
Well, and if there's any chance that Lawrence doesn't play, like we have to. Who's it?
Agreed.
Third?
That's who I actually think it would be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Minnesota.
I think we have to.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so that's maybe a
parlay game.
It's a potential one,
and we could lock it in now on these points. Now the issue is if Trevor Lawrence does play, but the line moving, I guess, would be a pretty strong.
How about this? I'm gonna add it in as we go. I'll put a minus 6.5 there. Okay. Let's keep it rolling. Patriots at the Bears.
Patriots at the Bears.
Gross.
Well, the Bears are fun to watch. Bears -6.5.
6.
I went with the half to be creative, but it obviously wasn't a good call. I'm gonna take Chicago.
I'm gonna take the Patriots.
Okay, it's fair.
Does Matt Eberflus get fired if they lose?
Yeah, I
think he gets fired if they lose.
Floors me. He's still even there.
I think he is the worst coach I've seen.
Yes, it's unbelievable. Now I don't know who's on their staff, but also, if I was Belichick, I don't know if you want to go mid-season, but attaching yourself to Chicago and Caleb Williams, that's not a bad job.
So you know what's interesting because Drake Mays looked really good too. All three of these kids look pretty good so far.
Could you imagine if he went back to New England? Belichick, he never would. But I heard they might fire Gerard Mayo.
There's no way.
Okay,
they've responded after the whole soft thing. They won and they fought last.
All right, this was a 2 week ago thing I heard. So
yeah, well that was when he called him soft. So
yeah,
oh no.
All right, I'm gonna take the Bears though.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah.
What a week.
This could decide it, honestly.
It is a big one. I'm taking all the underdogs, which is not great coming off a week where all.
Well, I would
won.
rather be taking the underdogs and
all the favorites won last week.
Yeah.
It was like 15-1 or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you're probably having a better week.
All right. Speaking of favorites, Mike Quick, Seth Joyner, Jody Mack, Mark Zumoff, Rob Ellis, Joe Conklin, a bunch of our favorites, plus us. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer. We are the BetParks lineup. BetParks, the official sportsbook and online casino of the Go Birds Pod. It's the only one we use, the only one we recommend, the only one we care about. It's the best one out there. Look, we pick these games every week. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We've been winning at a 60% clip. Now, this week,
for real,
this
is going to be a big one.
Showdown week.
This is more of a follow along.
Yeah, we've
bet
been
your own
dominant.
Although our parlay,
dude, we've hit the parlay 4 times already.
It's crazy.
4
It's crazy.
times. We have won 4 times.
It's almost like I don't want to talk about it.
We are dominant with the parlay.
And last week, last second.
I know.
Yeah.
We won it.
What a win.
What a win.
Yeah.
And guess what? I've been betting on it. It's great. We've been betting on it.
Yeah.
It's great. We're winning money. We are up. We're up for the year. Like, no matter what happens in our account this year, we're already well over.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful thing. So join us. Have fun. Plus, in addition to betting the games, you bet more than the score, player touchdowns, passing yards, rushing yards, sacks, all the good stuff. In addition to this, you got that to bet on. You got basketball to bet on. You got hockey bet on. All that stuff. You got a casino right in your hands. Literally. In your hands. You can do it while you're watching sports. You can play blackjack, craps, roulette.
Baccarat.
There it is. Hot online slot games based on your favorite TV shows like Breaking Bad and Peaky Blinders, plus movie slot games off Ted the Movie, a.k.a. Ted. Also Rocky and so much more. Enjoy it all at your fingertips. New users, listen to this deal. Download the BetParks online casino app and you get up to $1,000. Yes.
$1,000.
A casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. Casino bonus must be wagered. See betparks.com for the details.
So here's
must be 21 and PA, New Jersey. Michigan, Maryland, Ohio, gambling problem. Go 1-800-GAMBLER. It's not like you know that. Or
how many times do you think we've said Jim Curtin's name on the pod?
I might have been the first.
So you asked me on the last pod if they're going to.
Did he just get fired?
He just got fired.
No!
How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Tucker just texted it to me. Unbelievable.
Okay, that's like putting it out in the universe.
That's weird, right?
So
feel bad for him. Good guy.
I know nothing about him. I'm sorry, he seemed like a fine guy, Yeah. But dude, we've literally never said his name before.
It's wild.
And I also, literally am like, is he going to get fired?
Also to ask about his job status, like of all things.
Weird.
Yeah.
I asked if he's going to get fired.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not good.
Honestly, this is mind blowing right now. This is like world universe winking at you big time type stuff there. Wow.
You do love that expression.
It's a great expression.
You do.
Shout out to Sigmund Bloom. Used to do the fantasy pod with Sigmund. He had that phrase whenever
you used to do a fantasy pod with Sigmund Bloom?
Yeah. On this feed. No less.
Wow. How about that?
This week in fantasy.
That counts, I guess. It wasn't like a separate.
It
wasn't like a separate.
No, it was part of.
It was in the Go Birds feed, though.
It was a counterpoint. Like same idea. It was like it was not technically in this specific feed, but it was like the umbrella.
Yeah. Yep.
Like so. Kiss and Solak, all those shows back in the day.
I mean, look, man. The Bleeding Green Nation tree is Bloom. Lot of
originally.
That's what I'm saying. I used to run the website.
You used to run the website.
One of my
BLG.
One of the first things I wrote on there was Penn State should like shut their football program down for 5 years.
You weren't
and
wrong.
Everyone got so mad in the comments. Like, this is an Eagles website. I'm like, yeah, but we're all talking about it.
Yeah. Well,
it's probably fair points by them.
I would have avoided a lot of big losses.
Yeah, for sure.
Heyo. All right, let's keep it rolling. Steelers at Washington. This is a really good game. This is a big game for Eagles fans.
Yep.
Plus,
also, I think it's a
1 o'clocker, so we can watch it while we're waiting.
I think it's a good thing for the Eagles that Washington has this game. Like Eagles at Dallas is not an easy game.
It's a great point.
But like this is playing the Steelers.
No,
like,
it's a great
tough game.
It's a great point. They're home. Which some, but they're playing a tough football team. It's 6-2 or whatever, right?
Washington -3. Wow. I'm going to take the Steelers.
I'm going to bet with my heart here. I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to be rooting for it, so I'm betting it.
Washington barely beat Chicago. And they won last week. But like, Steelers
come
are
off a bye, maybe.
Also, Mike Tomlin, like
king.
Good call by him, man. Like, I wouldn't have done it, but like,
Russell Wilson.
It's
been good.
Yeah,
I agree.
Credit to him. Like, I wouldn't have done it.
All right, another decent game. Niners at the Bucks.
Niners at the Bucks. Niners -3.5.
The Niners are a 6-point
favorite. I'm taking the Bucks.
I'll take the Niners. That feels like a Niners line.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But man, the Bucks in Tampa.
It does seem like too many points. You know what it is?
Well, honestly, Christian McCaffrey.
Honestly,
play.
it's that I feel like I've taken the points on all these. I'm like, I gotta go with the favorite.
Good point.
Here, so.
But I do think Christian McCaffrey's playing.
I think he is too. So boost potentially.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the 4 o'clock and beyond. There are 3 4 o'clock games, which normally I hate, but this week I'm fine with it because there's only one we care about. And let me tell you, there's only one anyone's going to care about.
Yeah, I would guess so.
The other two,
Eagles
not
Cowboys
great.
game of the week.
So one of them is the Titans at the Chargers. Yuck.
Yeah, just a gross game.
Gross game.
Chargers -4.
7.5.
I feel like we shouldn't have to pick this one, but we pick every game.
I know.
So
See, this is why it's so impressive.
yeah,
that we're doing it.
exactly.
Like I have no idea.
So
I have no idea.
I'll say this: I feel like a bad week is coming. Like this is going to be a rough one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna take the Chargers, I guess. And the Titans are
So bad.
hot.
I know they just won though.
And it's
Titans have a good defense. Like
Yeah.
the numbers are pretty good. I'll take the Chargers too. Just they whooped up last week. It feels like the Charger game momentum, but I don't feel great about it. All right, this is interesting. It's a bad game. It's not a horrible game. Jets at Cardinals.
Yeah, this is a good game.
It's a watchable.
In Arizona. I'm gonna guess. I feel like the Jets might be favored in this one. Jets -2.
The Jets are a half.
I knew. I was
favorite.
almost gonna say pick them.
Pick 'em. It's basically a pick.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
I'm gonna take the Jets, and I don't feel
Ooh.
good about it at all. I don't see a world where the Cardinals are 6-4 and in first place in the NFC.
Dude,
West.
if
they're 5-4 and in first place.
Yeah.
The Jets are just.
The Jets are not good.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
but I just don't feel like the Jets season's going to be over quite
That's
yet.
fair. That's fair.
So this is a narrative.
This is
game
a
for me.
Jets need it more too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't feel good about it. I can't. We've been like last week, every single game but one.
I
and
know.
this week
That's
we're
what I'm
all
saying.
different.
This week's gonna
It's a
be
hard
much
parlay.
like last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Eagles, Cowboys. Are you ready to make a pick or not yet? It is up to
I
7.
mean, I guess I'll take the Cowboys with the points. Like,
just stick to your thing.
Yes.
All right. I'll take the Eagles. May
All
as
right.
well stay different on every single one. Night games. We actually get a one really good one. This is a fun one. Lions at the Texans Sunday night. Pretty good
that is
game.
a fun one.
Yeah.
The Texans are weird this year, though.
They're
Like,
so weird.
I think of them as
Also,
really
the
good. But
Injuries. I mean, it looks
they
like
lost
Nico
Diggs,
Collins
yeah.
could be back, but is it week 10?
No.
It is, right?
Well, the Eagles have played
No, I
8
know.
games and they've had a bye. So yeah,
So
this
yeah,
would
it's
be
week
10.
10.
Yeah.
So I think Nico Collins is back this week. I saw Nico Collins back week 10. So I think
Okay.
this is Nico Collins back.
Regardless,
It's week 10.
That's crazy.
What the bleep,
Yeah,
dude?
we're like 3 weeks away from the season being almost over.
Jeez Louise.
And think about this, like week 11 is Thursday for the Eagles.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
basically week 12.
You're right.
Um
Yeah, one week.
we're 8
from
days
today
away
where
from it
it's
being
8
week
days
12
away.
for the
Yeah,
Eagles.
yeah.
Wow, the season has
Flown.
I'm gonna go Lions -5.
3.5.
I'm gonna take the Lions.
Me too.
Yeah.
Parlay?
Yeah, parlay.
Let's just keep leaning on it.
Yeah.
And the last one, the Dolphins at the Rams.
Ooh. Rams -3.
1.
I'll take the Rams.
I kind of love.
I like the parlay
Do
one.
you want
for
to just do
this.
those last two with the
Yeah,
parlay?
I
the
do like those a
Vikings,
lot.
The Vikings, Lions, and the Rams. Bang.
All right.
Now,
Wait.
do we want to do money?
Let's
line
try to
for
get
the
a little
Lions?
creative with it.
'Cause the Lions are 3.5, and that could the hook. Could
So
be
wait,
annoying.
if you just what you put in, what is it?
with the lines, not money.
Yeah,
line?
just
So if I put just the 3 in, it's plus 597.
Oh,
Now, if I because the only one I'm worried about is the hook with the Lions. If we get rid of that and make it a money line, it's 454.
let's do the money line.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Our official Go Birds parlay. The Vikings -6.5 at Jacksonville. The Rams -1 at home against Miami, and the Lions money line at Houston. Bang.
I like it.
Killing it. All right.
Another win. Oh, final thoughts.
Yes.
Okay.
All we do is win.
All right. So
Jake Cowles.
I was watching a movie a few days ago. I forget what movie it was, but it was a
Oh,
unique
God.
movie.
Do you know how much you break my heart when you
No,
say I
no,
was
it's not a
watching
movie take.
No, I know, but do you know how much you break my heart when you say I was watching a movie a few days ago? I can't remember what movie.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart.
I think it was actually the one that I texted you about. It was like the weird Halloween movie.
Oh, it's not. Death Becomes Her.
Yes.
Not
a Halloween movie, right? But it was under the Halloween category.
Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Meryl Streep, by the way, has like kind of looked exactly the same her whole life.
She has.
which
That's
is-
a really good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
She even looked
crazy.
old back then. And
Okay. Do you ever think there's a time where you're the only person in the entire world watching something? Like, how many people at that exact
yeah,
moment?
I am sure. Yes.
You think so? Okay.
So,
I'm
like,
curious.
when
I mean,
you-
there's a
if-
lot of people watching a lot of things.
But if I'm watching, like, so for example, like, let me go with like, what did I watch this past? So this past weekend, I had Emily was down in Delaware for a night.
Right.
You had to drive me the show.
Yeah.
So I had a night, and I watched 4 movies in a day, and I watched the 3 of them were from the 90s. Like I watched Boys in the Hood. What a friggin' movie.
Mhm.
I watched. What else did I watch? Now I'm like blanking on it.
Wow, it's funny
I
'cause you
watched
just
a
said
new
you don't
movie
like
called
mine.
Strange Darling because Spike recommended to me. Awesome movie.
Yeah.
Super fun. And then I watched Searching for Bobby Fischer, which I had never seen before. But like,
That's with Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
No.
Okay. That's I'm thinking of Gilbert Grape.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Close.
Searching for Bobby Fischer, really good movie, really entertaining.
Oh,
Lawrence
wait.
Fishburne's in it.
Is it a chess movie?
It's a chess
I've
movie.
seen it. Yeah.
Little
Little
kid,
good at chess. Yeah.
really entertaining. I've
Wow.
never seen it before.
That'd be
really,
a great movie to fall asleep.
It was good. Well,
I'm just saying, like a comforting, quiet movie.
it is a comforting. Quiet
yeah,
movie,
like
right?
I remember it
But
vividly.
like, what are the odds that someone else was watching Searching for Bobby Fischer?
Yeah, I agree.
Like
That's
4:00 on a Friday.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Probably slim. But
Yeah.
but also there's a lot of people watching a lot of things. There's only so many movies. There's way more people watching things than there are movies.
Sure.
Just something to think about.
Oh yeah, I would guess that it is. I think the odds are that, but it's a good point.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Like The Penguin right now, like everyone's watching that all the time. I don't think there's ever a time where you're watching The Penguin and you're the only person watching. But like Searching for Bobby Fischer, that might be.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched Warrior the next night. Have you guys seen Warrior?
Like Xena, the warrior princess.
It's a movie about MMA fighting with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton and Nick Nolte.
Oh, it's kind of new.
No, it's
Then
probably
I
from
don't
like
know
the
what it is.
2015 or I don't know. I don't know exactly here. I'll look it up. I'll bet it's from like the 2015.
I don't know what it is, regardless. But that time, it's not like the
Warrior 2011.
Okay, so you're a little off.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking one of the best sports movies ever made. Warrior
what's
is
it about?
Great. It's about MMA. It's about two brothers and MMA.
I'm trying to decide if I would qualify that as a sports movie.
It's a sports. It's the same thing as a boxing movie. It's all like that.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Good point.
I bawled my eyes.
Wow.
I was like crying.
Like Coda level.
What a beautiful movie.
All right.
You should watch Warrior. Warrior kicks ass. It's an awesome movie.
All right.
It's got fame. I mean, Tom Hardy.
I might. I mean, I probably won't, but I might.
Why not?
I'm not a big Tom Hardy guy.
He doesn't talk that much in it, which is good. It's much more of a.
I feel like every movie he's in is like, I don't know, same movie. But if I'm thinking of the right guy,
he's in Mad Max.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fine. Like he's good at what he does, but I'm not a big Tom Hardy guy.
I'm not a huge Tom Hardy guy either. What does that have to do with Warrior? Watch the freaking movie.
Well, because I have no interest in Mad Max or these other movies, so I'd imagine
it's a movie about MMA. It has nothing to do with that. Like it's not
all right,
that type.
Maybe
of movie.
I'll watch it. I probably won't, but maybe I will.
You should watch it. It's amazing. It's so great.
Okay,
I can't tell you.
I'll put it on the list.
Please watch Warrior. So I guess that'll be my 5. I wasn't even planning on doing that. I was also going to say, have you seen Boys in the Hood?
No, I should watch that too. I know. I don't watch old movies. I don't know what to say.
There is it, and I guess there's a spoiler alert.
It's fine.
If you haven't seen it, it's a 30-year-old.
Well, I'm just thinking of me.
I'm saying I'm not going to say the name.
Okay.
The death. Anyone who's seen Boys in the Hood, the death in that movie, the big death in that movie, I think it's like a top 5 death in this, maybe a top 3 death.
Okay. So here's what I'll say. I don't think that's a spoiler, but obviously you're letting me know one of the main characters dies.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, I don't think it'd be an impactful death if it was like some rando walking down the street. Yeah. All right.
Watch movies.
I just like TV better. Have you watched Penguin?
No.
Okay, so there we go. It's the same thing.
That's fair.
Dude, The Penguin is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It is the best show I've ever seen.
Of course.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the one you're
watching.
Right
yeah.
Yeah.
I go back and forth in my head on if the Colin Farrell being in the fat suit thing makes me think actors do or don't matter. Because he has been awesome, but I think you could put anybody in that fat suit and it would be somewhat of a similar product.
Stop.
I'm not saying I'm on one side or the other. I'm just thinking about
you're
it.
all, it shouldn't even be discussed. Stop.
I think all right.
It's a disservice.
He's awesome. I think
the great work being done.
The
by Colin
other
Farrell and
actress
many
in
other
in that show is better.
I'm sure she's not.
Dude, she is unbelievable.
She's the one from How I Met Your Mother.
Yes,
I love her.
She is
I
unreal in this show.
Something or Christine, something or something like that. I love her. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough.
Yeah.
Come check us out on Saturday, 1 to 3, Parks. And after the game, as soon as the game ends, 7:30, whatever it is on Sunday,
We're live.
We'll be reacting. So until then, he's Item Jim.